Hey Mo, I know you requested a video about my journey in chasing the world of professional football. And first and foremost, I want you to know that this is not an easy journey. And when I say that, I mean that with all heart. It is truly one of the most difficult journeys you will ever face in your life. However, it's not impossible. I've seen many players do it, and because I've seen many players do it, and I've seen their potentials, I know I can do it as well. And that's the reason I still haven't given up. I've been chasing the dream since I was 22 years old. My first professional trial over in Denver, Colorado, with the soccer visa Joe Fichinko. And through my progression over there, we had a 3-day trial, and unfortunately I wasn't one of the selected players to advance towards more professional trials. He said I needed to work on my right foot, my technical abilities still weren't there, and I still needed a little bit more of a larger physique and conditioning. And I think what a lot of players don't understand is when they get criticism like that, especially at my age, they tend to be really negative about it. And part of the professional world and chasing the professional dream is always having yourself opening your mind. Never ever take what coaches say as criticism. Just be humble about it, because they've already chased that professional dream, or they have played and coached professional players, and because of that, they know exactly what they are doing. They know what they are looking for, and soccer is a game of opinion. No matter where you go, what coach you counter yourself with, it is always going to be a game of opinion. And because it's a game of opinion, there's always going to be players or coaches who think you're suitable enough for the team, and there's going to be coaches and players that are going to think that you are not suitable for the team. But that's their opinion, okay? Don't let that frown upon you, okay? Let that build you up. Let that be a lesson of learning, and let them know, hey, this is what he told me. This is what I need to improve on. Let me work on those things. And that's the mentality that I kept myself since the age of 22. Instead of being very hypocritical and just being negative about what I've been told, I opened up my mind and said, okay, these are my weaknesses. Let me learn from this, and then let me see what I can do to improve these weaknesses. And that's exactly what I did. I continued through my trials. I went to Seattle, Washington, and that was another professional combine with soccer visa. That was about 2 months apart. So during that 2-month frame, I continued to practice and develop my skills and my weaknesses over the next 2 months. Went over to Seattle, Washington, and same situation. Unfortunately, I wasn't selected. The coach told me I just didn't have a suitable skill level. I still needed more technical work, and I needed a stronger right foot, which at the time I truly mean this, I did not have a right foot for anything. But I continued to do what I did, and I continued to train. So months passed by. I continued to get a second job to build up income, and as I built up income, I saved that money for future trials. About, I'd say, 6 to 8 months down the journey, I had another professional combine trial over in New York, and this was with AX Tours and not Soccer Visa this time. I wanted to try a different company. My mindset was, okay, maybe, like I was told, that it was a game of opinion. Therefore, I wanted to go to a different scouting tour and see if their opinion was more suitable for my set of skills. So I went with AX Tours, and same situation. I had a 3-day trial. I thought I did well, at least personally that's what I thought. My combine was great in my opinion. I scored some goals, I defended well, I played at a suitable level like I needed to. And unfortunately, I wasn't any of the selected players to go to a professional trial over in Denmark. Not yet, that is, not yet. So I let it go. I continued to develop everything that they told me. They said I didn't have anything that I needed to work on at that time. However, I knew myself that I needed to work on my right foot a lot more. If it was one of the biggest downfalls that I had, it was my right foot. So I told them okay, shook their hands, came back home, and waited for the next trial again. Then the following trial was over in Virginia. And as I went over to the progressional trials over in Virginia, it was with the same company, AX Tours. And finally, after so much hard work and everything that I did, I ended up doing great at the combine over in Virginia. I ended up scoring a 40-yard goal from outside. Goalkeeper didn't get it, and that's what got me to build my small step of recognition. So I progressed through there, and I was later given an invitation letter from the AX Tours Combine letting me know that they were interested in me going to Denmark with them for 2 weeks. I couldn't refuse that trial. I was like, okay, this is progression. I'm seeing myself build up. I went from a 3-day trial, progressed my way towards up. Now I have a 2-week trial. So take my same suitable accountabilities. What do I need to learn, and what do I need to prepare for myself during this trial? I went over to Denmark and played against the professional teams over there, and unfortunately I was not scouted. They weren't looking for any defenders at that time. They were looking more for the oppositions of wingers and forwards. And during the time of my previous trials, I only played as a left and right back. I didn't play as a winger like I do today. So unfortunately, I wasn't one of the selected players over in Denmark. And although they said I had great heart, great recognition, and I played a great game, it's just not what they were looking for. But I did not let that turn me down. I just shook my head, shook their hands, told them what I needed to improve on, and continue to chase a dream. That's literally what this is about. So time passed by, months passed by. I got a new job because I had to leave the previous job, and I saved up my money, and I was then invited by some guy named Piero Logato over in Spain, Leganes, Spain. And he invited me over for a 2-month trial. I guess he saw my video progression over in Denmark, and he thought I was a suitable player and asked me if I was interested in trialing for 2 months over in Leganes, Spain. To that point, that was probably my largest opportunity that I've had to this date. This was a little over 2 years ago in 2018, and since then, personally, in my experience, it's been one of the best experiences I've had to this date. It's still not over, but to this date, this has been the best trialing combine that I've had personally. Was it pricey? Yes. Was it worth it? In some terms, I do say it is, because it developed me as a player so much. I learned so much, and because of that, I think it was well worth it. Unfortunately, same situation, even during the 2-month trials that I was there, I only played as a left back and a right back again, and I wasn't one of the selected players. Towards when I was in Leganes, Spain, they were looking for more winger and forward positions. Unfortunately, again, they weren't looking for anything on the left or right back. So during my 2-month trials over there, I just worked really hard. I tried with a team with Getafe FC. There was another team called Guadalajara C team. And then I had the Leganes C team as well that I trialed with. So I trialed with many of those teams, and unfortunately with all that progression, they were looking for only wingers and forwards. Came back, had my head down. It really bummed me out, because I really thought that was my opportunity. And even the coaches, some of the coaches there said, I have what it takes, but unfortunately, it's not what they're looking for. And in my head, I always thought to myself, well, this is what a game of opinions is like. And because if it's a game of opinion, the only thing I can do is just keep my head up high and continue to strive towards my dream. Came back here, continued through not my trials, but I continued through my weaknesses. And I just kept working hard. I learned more videos, I read books, I watched videos. I did a lot more training. I worked more on my weaknesses than I ever did before. And I just kept that mentality of like, okay, I have to keep progressing myself, because this isn't over yet. Yes, I'm 25, but from what I've been told, there's been players that have played at the professional level and have had their professional debut up to the age of 28. 28 years old. Once you start reaching 28 and older, your chances go even more down than they already are right now at this position, especially from a player like me who has no high school background, no college background. The only thing I had was an academy team background here in Omaha, Nebraska, and that was it. So for me, it was a lot more difficult than other players out there who were chasing the dream because of the recognition that they had and the recognition that I did not have. But I didn't give up. I didn't know. I guess my mind just told me that I did not know when to give up. And to this date, I'm still not giving up. So I've been working a lot more. I've been progressing my way towards 2021 now. And I have the possibility of going to a trial over in Costa Rica. It's not guaranteed yet, but it's in the marks of a possibility of a trial for 5 to 10 days. And if I do good during those 5 to 10 days and I show potential, they'll keep me there for 3 months. So during this time frame, I now have a 6-month period window to work my butt off and show my ambition and possibly get the opportunity to play at a professional level. This is literally what the journey of chasing the professional dream is like. It's not easy, it's difficult. You always have to work on your own, man. That's one of the most, I would say that is literally one of the most difficult things to do, is keeping a mindset in your head and saying, hey, I know I don't want to train today, but I have to. I have to work on my footwork. I have to work on my weaknesses, because if I don't, there's another player out there who's doing it and getting closer to their professional level dreams than I am. So you got to make sure that every day, or at least every day possible that you can, that when you're working with, whether you're practicing with a team, training on your own, working with another player, just make sure that every time you're doing that, you give it your all. You don't stop, okay? You don't take anything for granted during those practice days, because every practice day that you don't give it your all, there's another player out there that's actually giving it their all, and they're getting a lot closer than you are towards their dreams. That's what the dream is about. That's what it's like to chase a dream. And it's not an easy journey, but I promise you it's not an impossible journey either. So if there's anything I can tell you, Mo, is that you just don't give up, man. Be humble. Keep working hard. Keep working on your mindset, and make sure you're coachable. Whatever coaches tell you, don't try to tell them you're wrong. Just try to tell them, okay, exactly how am I doing this wrong, or exactly how is my formation wrong? And then let them explain that to you. Let them teach you. Make sure you're a teachable player, because if you're not a teachable player, coaches don't want you. Coaches are not going to want you. And back then, when I was younger than 22, that was one of my biggest problems. I was not in the mindset of being teachable. A lot of these coaches would tell me, hey, you need to work on this, or hey, you need to work on that. And I had a big ego back then. I always thought, okay, I'm a good player. I have my left foot, and that's all I need. I don't need a right foot. And, got older, I realized that was one of the biggest regrets that I have, is that I did not work on my weaknesses when I was younger. But that doesn't mean I couldn't start then. That doesn't mean I can't start now. And I have started now. I've given it my all, and because of that, I've progressed so much higher than I have before. So yeah, man, Mo, this is literally what the journey is like. And even though it's difficult, I want you to know that it's not impossible. So don't ever give up, man. Don't you ever give up, and you continue to chase that dream, okay? Let people who doubt you be your biggest motivators. Let people who are there to support you be your motivators as well, but the people that doubt you, let them thrive upon them. Thrive upon their hate, and let them know, hey, let me prove to you that I can become this player, that I can become the professional that I want to be. And when you drive yourself towards that ambition and mindset, I promise you, Mo, you will achieve your dreams, okay? I wish you the best of luck, man. And to any other inspiring players that see this, don't give up, okay? Dreams aren't impossible, okay? It's all here. So don't give up, kids.